of Western Colorado, the Regional Multifamily Energy Retrofit Collaborative is working to transform the multifamily properties across Garfield, Eagle, and Pitkin counties. This group was established with the support of the U.S. Department of Energy's Energizing Rural Communities Phase 1 prize. This partnership of nonprofits and government organizations is dedicated to helping owners, operators, and residents of multifamily affordable housing improve energy efficiency in their buildings and access the funding, expertise, and resources to make it happen.
I'm John Doherty, Chief Executive Officer for the Community Office for Resource Efficiency, better known as CORE. For more than 30 years, CORE has been working as a climate action nonprofit in the Valley to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions in the built environment. And we've launched a new initiative where we're leading a newly established regional multifamily energy retrofit collaborative to advance environmental sustainability, social equity, and economic development across our rural communities. Our collaborative partners, including CORE, are Walking Mountain Science Center, Holy Cross Energy, Energy Smart Colorado, and regionally, our partners include stakeholders from Garfield County, Eagle County, and Pitkin County.
Individually, each organization within the collaborative offers funding, expertise, connections, and resources for our neighbors to make energy-efficient improvements to their properties. Collectively, the collaborative is on a mission to scale its impact by reducing energy throughout the largest buildings in the area, such as multifamily housing complexes and neighborhoods. Its primary aim is to decrease greenhouse gas emissions, save energy, and improve living conditions in income-qualified housing. Most underserved residents throughout the 3 counties live in multifamily housing, many of which are deed-restricted, aging, and not compliant with new sustainable building codes.
Currently, my wife and kids and I live here in Burlingame and Aspen. We own a 3-bedroom condo through the Employee Housing Program, and we had previously lived up the hill in a 2-bedroom. We won our first unit in 2014 when Burlingame Phase 2 was built, and my wife and I moved in there. And then once we had our kids, we started bidding on lotteries for larger units, and we ended up winning the lottery for this unit, which is a 3-bed, and won that in 2021. I think for my wife and I, we both work in Aspen, so proximity to our work life, to our sort of social and I would say sport kind of like outdoors life. The ability to live in Aspen and have the close proximity to all those sort of core elements of who we are day to day and what we want our life to be is super important. I think in Burlingame Phase 1, where we now live, we're approaching the 20-year mark, and I'm on our association's board, and we're starting to sort of realize the mechanical lifespan of some of our heating and cooling systems and just other elements of the construction that will start to cost the association and therefore the homeowners a significant amount of money in the coming years. And I think just as an owner, but also a board member, it's intimidating to see that price sort of coming down the road towards us to keep these buildings functioning properly. I think an opportunity to upgrade our mechanical systems in certain ways would be a huge step forward, not only for the efficiency of all the buildings here, but also to do a meaningful sort of upgrade to these systems that are starting to wear out that we need to work on anyways. And I think transitioning towards electrification and hopefully just more efficient systems than what were built 20 years ago would be just fantastic on so many levels.
Buildings are the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions in our region, accounting for more than 60% of all energy use. While energy-efficient upgrades can be costly, they are well worth the investment. Multifamily buildings present the greatest opportunity for greenhouse gas emission reduction because of their size and the opportunity to scale and replicate our model projects. Over the past year, the Regional Multifamily Energy Retrofit Collaborative accomplish the deliverables outlined in our initial proposal to the Department of Energy for Phase 1 of the Energizing Rural Communities Prize.
As a result of this collaborative initiative, we've hired a regional coordinator to establish the collaborative and help with her leadership to bring together the key stakeholders across the multifamily sector. This group together formalized an agreement to create the Regional Multifamily Energy Retrofit Collaborative to address our community's environmental challenges. Together, they conducted research and applied for funding opportunities to tackle these challenges. With the information collected, we identified ample need and opportunity to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and serve our income-qualified residents. The group established a comprehensive database to store our research and use the data to identify potential project locations for our 3-county region. The database also includes the contact information for potential participants like property owners, building managers, and homeowners associations. They also estimated the potential greenhouse gas savings resulting from these projects. With this data, they prioritized common building types that are best suited for initial modeling and conducted bilingual outreach to gauge the interest and feasibility of the proposed retrofit framework.
The collaborative is in the process of working with select multifamily complexes to design a model framework and replicate this framework for future retrofit projects. During the modeling process, we will test and document different energy efficiency improvements that could be made to multifamily buildings. Considerations that will be taken into account during the design include the unique structural, economic, environmental, and political challenges of doing these projects. These considerations include the current heating and cooling infrastructure in the building, the age of the building, and getting in contact with building owners, property managers, and HOAs to assess their willingness to participate, their time availability, and their financial capacity to do this work.
This affordable housing HOA is the largest in Pickens County in the Aspen-Pickens County Housing Authority stock. To my knowledge, it might be the largest in our 3-county region. And it's really diverse from studios to some single-family homes, and all income qualified, workforce qualified categories, as we call them, including some of the lowest income categories that are below even 100% of area median income. As many people may know, Aspen, Colorado is one of the most expensive areas in the country, and it has a thriving economy, and that creates lots of meaningful employment opportunities for community members, but they need somewhere to live. This affordable housing HOA is just over 15 years old, and that means that it's a good time for CORE and this multifamily collaborative to be involved, because the heating systems that at the time of construction were best practice, high efficiency condensing gas boilers, they're really aging out now. The HOA is having lots of issues with these boilers, and the modern day best practice is actually to electrify and switch to heat pumps rather than gas equipment. So there's a lot of partners involved with this potential project. There's obviously the HOA itself, which for over 90 units, probably over 200 residents, that's a big partner to work with, of course, and it's a volunteer HOA board, as they almost always are. So we really want to serve them best, and at CORE, we want to do as much of the work as we can for them, so the project actually moves forward rather than stalling out based on volunteer HOA members' time. CORE is positioned, along with our multifamily collaborative partners, to really have a sense of which contractors are doing the best work, which contractors are available, and connecting them with the project. So, for example, CORE had a potential project in an affordable housing multifamily complex for the last year that wanted to do a weatherization project and couldn't find a contractor. So at CORE, we helped bring in a great contractor from 4 hours away, but that was willing to do the work so it could actually get done. Of course, with affordable housing, and particularly affordable housing HOAs, capital is a very serious challenge. So at CORE and with the collaboration at the regional level, we are looking to bring in more funding than ever in the form of rebates and grants from a diverse set of sources, as well as bringing in low or no interest financing products, which is becoming ever more important as affordable housing HOAs that are really aging now have serious capital needs coming up and oftentimes very minimal savings. Two, market-based interest rates have been very high, but we're able to, we've identified at least two sources of very low or almost no interest financing. Next step for this multifamily retrofit pilot program is to actually get some projects going and get them scoped so we can learn from them and learn how we can replicate. That's one of the reasons that we've identified a handful of multifamily HOAs in Aspen that we're engaging with now to evaluate the feasibility and cost effectiveness of several potential projects.
In our work, both previously to when the collaborative was officially established, and even now as we join forces, the members of the collaborative have found consistency in the challenges that we've encountered when trying to enlist multifamily building properties to undergo energy efficiency upgrades. Multifamily buildings are among the most complex properties to upgrade for efficiency and electrification. The time and engagement required for successful implementation demands a dedicated project developer or concierge resource to move this work forward at scale alongside targeted marketing, outreach, and education. Funding continues to be the biggest obstacle for property owners, particularly for those who aren't compelled to take action without an incentive. This population of property owners constitutes the majority of our prospects in the region. Since federal funding is often inaccessible for this area, our collaborative partners can struggle to find outside resources to overcome this challenge. As the collaborative moves forward, we'll provide resources to our program participants that will bridge the gap between aspiration and action. We'll offer building assessments and advice to identify what kinds of projects are best suited for their multifamily building. Retrofit recommendations could include air source heat pumps, insulation, weatherization, induction stovetops, window shades, passive solar installations, and car chargers. Our goal is to focus on projects that will yield the best impact on residents and the environment. So we'll evaluate the net benefits of doing each project as it relates to greenhouse gas emissions reduction, cost savings, equipment performance, sustainability, and the well-being of the building occupants. We'll help enlist experts to provide proposals, project management, and skilled contractors to do the work. We'll connect the project representatives with the financial resources that are available in our region, like financing options, capital improvement programs, and local, state, and federal tax incentives, grants, and rebates. And we'll ensure the project's long-term success by developing continuity and accountability in record keeping, capital improvement, and budget planning.
On behalf of the collaborative, we want to thank the U.S. Department of Energy for helping us lay the foundation for this good work. As we move into the next phase of our program, your continued support is essential. In phase 2, the funding you would provide would directly support our key project objectives. To further develop and manage our program plan with a focus on providing easily and readily accessible funding to projects that show potential to reduce energy consumption significantly. To expand grant research and prospecting. To increase outreach and awareness of the program, as well as its access and impact on our communities. And to implement technology upgrades, including a data and customer relationship management system to collect, evaluate, and report metrics to detect successes, barriers, and future opportunities. Through this work, we are confident that our collaborative will further address our community's most pressing issues surrounding climate change and equitable access to climate action. We aim to inspire others to do the same, making a positive impact locally and beyond for generations to come.